So, Bhaiya, we are live and
Um,
good evening, everyone. I am Utkarsh from Team RECursion, the official programming community of NIT Dugrapur. On behalf of entire team, I warmly welcome you all to today's Ask Me Anything session with Saptarshi Shome Bhaiya. Bhaiya is a software engineer at Visa. He's also previously worked at Wells Fargo for 2 years and also as an intern at JP Morgan and Chase. It also had a impressive AIR 316 in Google Kickstart and is also a Codeforces Expert. So many things to say about him, but still I have shortened it up for into 2 lines. But today's session is a very wonderful opportunity to gain valuable insights into competitive programming, internship and placement preparation. And also building a successful career in software engineering. We encourage everyone to actively participate, ask questions, and make most of the interactive session. Without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Saptarshi Shome. Thank you, Bhaiya, for taking the time and having with us today. The stage is all yours.
yeah, thank you, Utkarsh. Thanks for the wonderful introduction. Yeah, so probably you guys can ask me the questions for the interviews which you guys are participating in. And I think the placement season has already kicked in the college. So just feel free to drop in your questions and probably I can answer them.
Bhaiya, I guess before we start, if you just say us like what was the flow through which you went, then they would be able to even understand and ask you more questions regarding the same.
Right. So I'll just give you a very brief overview about my journey in the competitive programming domain. So I was basically in my second year, and so I was like COVID started kicked in, and we were all thinking to find out the best, the best pathways for upskilling ourselves because we are also aiming for the fourth year placements back then. So I got to know about this club in called RECursion. It was the coding club in our college. So I attended some of the coding classes and when got to know about the wonderful community which we have with them. And along with that, I started participating in the Codeforces contest and Code Chef contest as well. So and I always had a very analytical thinking skill, analytical thinking mindset, as I should say. So I started solving very easy problems at first, and I couldn't attempt the difficult ones. But as gradually as the time spent, I upskilled and started learning more of the algorithms and the tips and the tricks which we generally use for competitive program, and slowly uh, attempted the harder ones. So yeah, that was kind of my journey on a very brief scale.
Yes, Bhaiya. So currently we have around, I guess, 20 we had live viewers of yours. So one of our means, a viewer, Omkar Singh, he asks that you are a Codeforces expert. How much did CP actually help you crack SWE roles at Visa, Wells Fargo, or JPMC versus being a filter to get shortlisted? Shortlisted. So actually, I guess he means that is CP more of a what just a basic filter is, or is it something related to software engineering roles?
Right, right. I think the domain has shifted. That's actually a very good question. And I would say the domain has shifted a bit. So if you look at the time span, which was kind of before 2023, when those LLMs, these big LLMs hadn't kicked in. So at that time, it was very much focused on what coding skills which you particularly have. So at that time, I would say it was very much necessary, to have a very good coding profile. And actually, the code forces and code share profile was given great value. But after 2023, I won't say it has been completely removed, but surely the competitive coding profile has gotten a bit diminished. But obviously, absolutely, for clearing your first two rounds in your interview, so definitely you need good analytical skills, and that would be only getting sharp by using by practicing contests in CodeShare or code forces. And there for clearing those rounds, that is definitely very much helpful. And speaking of, like, in my visa interview rounds, obviously the interviewer looked into my code process account. I had actually put it in my resume, and he had opened it in the interview itself. So yeah, interviewers do know about code forces, and they are not totally blind about it. So having a good profile, having a good ad coder profile or a code share profile or a code force, definitely helps. It lights up your resume, you can say.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for the insight. I hope Omkar got it clear. So, Bhaiya, in the comment section, we have our people just saying you hi. So, if a quick hi is possible from Praveen, Mysterio, Murthy.
Yeah, hi guys.
Yes. And then we'll move on to another question by King Mysterio. How should we prepare for this intern season when everyone is opting for cheating in the OS? Has the intern season completely shifted to luck biased instead of pure raw skills? Actually, Bhaiya, I even agree with the question, and it would be very interesting to hear from you.
Right. So I get it, guys. It's quite difficult, like because of the, like, first of all, in when companies are trying to shortlist interns, they usually don't give that hard questions. So they would be like basic div 2 A or B questions, right? So it is quite easy. And given how powerful the LLMs have currently become, so they can just solve them very quickly. So it's very unfair. It's true that people who are maybe attempting it from home, they get a very unfair advantage, as to say. But I think what you guys can do is that maybe you can talk to your recruiter or maybe placement coordinator to to shift the online test, at least the online test, to be conducted on an on-site. I just heard that Goldman Sachs in your college is conducting an on-site round. So maybe if you guys can group up and let them know that these are the grievances and these are the potential threats which you guys are anticipating as such. So probably that's a good way. So if reaching out to your placement coordinator or reaching out to your seniors or reaching out to your professors, I think that's a good way to huddle up and show up your grievances. Yeah.
So I guess Bhaiya, Team Stereo would be happy with the answer. We have another question lined up from Ankana. Bhaiya, what skill or projects made your resume stand out enough to get these opportunities?
Sure, sure. This is a very good question. Um, so, um, so I think everyone is knowing, right? The era of Gen AI has become, right. You see an LLM every day in every week a new LLM sponsor. So, and I'll just give out my experience. Okay, like I have been in the industry for like 3 years almost. So what I've seen is the gradual shift in the adoption of Gen AI. So nowadays I hardly manually write any code per se. Even if I'm committing, let's say, 1,000 lines of code per month, I think I can say like 95% of that code is AI written. And today, even at least in our company also, they have introduced these metrics where you are measured on how much you are using this AI models and all. So obviously, like no one is sitting and writing their code on like by themselves in companies. And so what I would suggest is that there are many courses in you can find it in YouTube or online. For example, Anthropic has their own prompt engineering courses, so have a look on that. OpenAI has their own prompt engineering courses. You can go through their Gen AI courses and learn how to effectively use their models as such, and to make good projects for yourselves as well. So maybe for a new college graduate, or someone who is preparing for the internship, you can actually make a RAG agent, where you can probably give them some knowledge base, and you can train that model for giving them like giving out valuable insights as per your prompt. So you can try making those projects. And absolutely, guys, I cannot stress it more. You have to be AI fluent in this age, because the new jobs which have been coming is sadly can be replaced by AI. Like most of, like I would say from my experience, the QA engineers, like who are testing, their jobs have been very much automated. So you guys need to be very fluent with your AI skills and be very updated. So that's about it. Yeah.
Bhaiya, for the last question we discussed about that cheating one, there
Mhm.
is a follow-up from Mr. So he asked, Bhaiya, that's mainly done in off-campus application or competitions too. So that's the
Yeah.
question.
So if you guys applying off campus, so see, the basic thing is whenever you are applying, right? So if your profile gets shortlisted, then they will be sending you an OA link, and in that OA link, probably I don't know, maybe 20, 30 people are attempting that OA as well. So you never know what they are actually using, right, to solve that question, because maybe the question is easy and everyone can solve it. So how does the recruiter shortlist, like give out the ranks? Like how do they shortlist the candidate? They will do it on their time. So people do use AI to cheat. That's like you cannot escape from that fact. So they unfortunately, given the LLMs which we have, they are actually generating the answers very quickly. So I think you have to be very, very fluent in your like data structure skills, so that you can write the solution very fast and submit it. But yeah, the threat of cheating is very much there. Yeah.
This way, I also feel the same as you said.
Mhm.
So we'll move on to the next question. I guess Mysterio's are clear. Then, what's something interviewers cared about that you didn't expect? Shubhrajit Moitra asks the question.
What interviews?
What's something interviewers cared that you didn't expect? Like it was something that you didn't never expected, but it
Okay.
was something interviewers cared.
Right, right, right. Sure. That's actually a very interesting question. So I'll just give you an example. So my last round for visa was an on-site round, right? And my hiring manager was my current manager. So I had actually like I went to the room where my manager was sitting, and you never like I was expecting some questions with DSA on stuff like that. But my manager gave his computer to me, and he just said that, you know what, let's test how good you are at prompting. So he actually asked me to code a game using Claude. You know, he said that I'm just giving, you can probably put 10 or 15 prompts, and you have to create a Spring Boot project where, you know, you can you have to create a game where, you know, you can maybe create your own characters which has in their own health points, their abilities, their skills and all that. So it was kind of like asking me to, you know, just think out of the box, and to try how like Gen AI can be used to code up faster. So I think that was something which I didn't expect at all. So yeah.
Could be still an experience. Other than that, Bhaiya, Raisa asks that uh, if someone who hasn't started anything like for intern as of now, he does not do CP or something, does a
Hmm.
strong internship matter more than CP rating or DSA sheets means at this stage if he hasn't started anything?
Okay. Okay. She hasn't started anything, and she wants to prepare for internship. Is it?
Yes, Bhaiya?
So she hasn't started.
Yes, yes, means as of now, his preparation is not as good as he thinks.
Okay.
And means how should he then means approach CP or DSA as in that case?
Okay.
So that's what he wants guidance in.
So I would just suggest you that, since starting from CP will probably will take some time, some substantial amount of time. So for now, if you are trying to get to an internship, what you should be doing is that, like, there are some set of questions which interviewer regularly asks, and I think if you reach out to any recursion senior members, they would be very much able to help you with that. There are very concise group of algorithms as well, which is being used. So there are some set questions. So what you can do probably is that, you know, start focusing on those questions, because ultimately there would be a DS around where you would be asked about this question, about these problems, and you have to answer them. So you can start by preparing those sheets, I would say. Like, those sheets have I think very easy to prepare, and the solutions for them are available online. You can just go in YouTube, and you can find n number of explainer videos for that. So that's a very good resource. So I would suggest you to go and practice those sheets, because they have the curated list of questions. So that would be very helpful. Yeah.
This way of continue means continuing to that answer, I guess. There are few of them, Geet, Shita, means Geet, then Karma. These people are asking that if someone means he does not feel anxious or any means anxiety about these interviews and all, what
Mhm.
mindset and practice should he follow? Like how
Right.
calm one should be before a means interview or something.
Mhm.
He feels that if he's enough means anxious, that's not good, but he's not at all. So is that right or what? And then it's a similar, like many students feel pressurized to learn everything. What skills do you think are overrated, and what should actually be the focus uh, in during the third and second year of college?
Right. So I'll take them part by part. I think the first question was like, how to get over your anxiety, right? Like,
No, but actually, he does. He is the opposite of that. He does not feel much of it. He's
okay, he
like,
doesn't feel.
is it necessary?
No, absolutely not. In your interviews, whenever interacting with your interviewer, you should be always confident, and, you know, you should be trying to practice your speaking skills as much as you can. You shouldn't be stuttering in between while you are speaking. So that is something I think you can practice and sharpen your skills on for that. And along with that, for third year, I think the skills which are required, can't say about the skills which are override, because I think every other skill is valued. But I would say, probably I have seen it personally, that your resumes are getting shortlisted by just searching whether the keyword AI is there or not. because uh, throughout this industry, the software developer industry, everyone is trying to search for a keyword with AI. So I think putting up some AI projects in your resume, where you're building very basic classifiers, or any AI agents, or any such thing like that, or any LLM application, will definitely would be helping you a lot. So guys, please, when you are trying to apply off campus, or even in your when you are taking part in your final year campus placements, do make sure that you have some certifications in AI. I just mentioned, right? OpenAI has this prompt engineering course, so you can you can get certified from there. So I think that is a very important thing. So you should guys probably focus on that. Yeah.
A similar follow-up to the same question here. Anish asks if placements don't go as planned in the first few cycles. So in the starting of placements, if they don't go as planned, so
Mhm.
what one should do instead of panicking should
Right.
means how should they rethink, restructure themselves?
Right. Okay, that's actually a very good question. So, so assuming that the placement cycle is about to begin, right, Utkarsh? Like, when is it
For
beginning?
us, for our year, the intern season will start, and for our final years, the placement season has begun. I
Okay,
guess a few companies have just
right. It is
started.
just begun, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So for the final years, I would say, so you have one whole year, right? And when I graduated in 2023, till the very last day of a college, companies did come. Okay. And yeah, it's true that the good companies would be coming in the initial weeks of this placement season, but the companies would be definitely coming. So there's absolutely, I can guarantee you, there's no need for stressing out. There will be a lot of companies which will be coming and approaching you guys. So just focus on your preparation, and don't focus on the companies as per say. Just get your mind out of the interviews which have been done. So get yourself certified, get yourself upskilled, practice DSA as much as you can. You would be getting into a company, that's for sure. And along with that, so for along with that, you just practice your coding problems, and in recursion, I know there are very good folks which are always practicing and always ready to help. So reach out to them, have a conversation as to how they are practicing, so that would be very helpful. Yeah.
Uh, Thank you, Bhaiya, for listening. Because then Arnav asks a new question that I also relate with. Like, Bhaiya, I'm learning many things which makes me feel good, but I don't get a particular direction. Like, I want to be a web dev, data analyst, AI ML engineer. What do I do? And Bhaiya, I too relate with the question because I also do many things and I don't feel like sticking to one. It makes me feel bored. So, what can be a solution, or should I change my mindset?
Right. Okay. So so see, web dev and like data analysis, when you get into a company, right? So these are two different roles, right? So web dev uses a set of technology, and data analysis uses a different set of technology. So for you guys, what I would be doing, I would be suggesting is that you shouldn't be saying that I would be only applying to this web dev roles and not applying for this data analysis, or vice versa. Apply for both of them. If you have done any projects on data analysis or web dev, and you think any particular role is applicable for both, do apply on that. But you have to ultimately ask yourself a question that what am I good at, where does my interest lie. So according to that, practice and sharpen up your skills. Okay. But for now your aim currently is to get a good CTC, is to grab a very good placement, right? So whatever role you find in off campus or in your college, don't budge from it. Just apply, and probably if you are selected, then you can probably build your career onto that. But because you guys are just about to start your journey, so don't differentiate between web dev or data analysis. If you've done your projects, very good, put it in your resume and apply. That's it. Just don't differentiate. But if but I would say this, because web dev gives you a like backend engineers and front engineers, there are a lot more roles compared to data analysis. So I would say, if you are new, if you haven't started anything, focus on web dev, because ultimately all the solutions are delivered through the World Wide Web. So it's over the internet essentially. So start focusing on that. And if you get time, do explore this ML domain or data analysis domain. But for now, if you have done projects in data analysis, if you have done projects in web dev, do apply in every position you get. Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, after the same, like we'll move on to a new part. I guess people are clear, the one who asked
Mm-hmm.
with it. Means
Mm-hmm.
I guess Arnav asked the question, so I guess he is clear with it.
Mm-hmm.
So Anish and Geet again asks, like, how much does cold mailing and this networking world means work in landing internship at top companies? Like there are two parts to this question.
Mm-hmm.
How important are networking and referrals in landing interns at top company?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the right way to reach out to recruiters or employ? And
Mm-hmm.
similar to this, there is how far does cold mailing work? Like for off-campus opportunities, how better is cold mailing or how should we mail? What are the key points to include? Please let's discuss.
Right, right. Okay. So I'll just take this question part by part. Um, so, like, how much referrals do matter? It actually matters, guys. It actually matters, because when you are getting a referral, the company is saying that the person who referred you, the company is trusting the person who has referred you. So you kind of get a head start on that, right? So it is very important that you get a referral. So what you can do is that, make some connections in LinkedIn, make some throw some connection requests to someone who is a lead software engineer or a junior software engineer in any company. Have ask them very respectfully that this is my resume, and if you find any open roles, could you please refer me for it. So I think, if you are very respectful and very obedient, and I mean, if you are very respectful, then they would be giving you their referral. There's some few cases where they just ignore it, but most of the cases they would be giving you the referral. So that goes for the referral part. And secondly, for cold email, you can do one thing, is that you have a Excel sheet of the companies which you want to apply for, right? So go into LinkedIn, search for those companies, and get a hold of the HR's contact number. HR genuinely have, like, generally they have their email address also mentioned in their LinkedIn profile. So what you can do is, like, you can just put out your resume and start cold emailing to them. And for HR, I would say, yeah, they take a very good amount of time to reply you back. But you cannot ignore the chance where, if even if there's a 1% of chance or 10% of chance where the recruiter looks into your profile and looks into your email essentially, and reverts back to you. So you cannot dismiss that chance. So guys, I would very much ask you to start cold emailing the HRs, and asking whoever you find in LinkedIn to, if you respectfully ask them to refer for any position. So that is very, very much helpful. And guys, one tip I want to give you all, and that is, like, you guys need to make your LinkedIn profile very much active, right? So I'll just explain you this. uh, think of any Instagram post, right? How does like, let's say someone has posted something in Instagram, and that profile is public. How does that post becomes viral or reaches a larger audience compared to others? So that is solely based on the interactions which you get in that post, right? People are commenting, people are sharing, people are liking it. right? So similarly, what you guys need to do is that if you make any, let's say, a very dummy project, very small project, or let's say you performed very well in a particular contest in CodeShape or Codeforces or AdCode, whatever be it, just post it in LinkedIn. Don't make it cringe. People do make it cringe sometimes by posting it, but if you feel that it is something which you can put it in LinkedIn, and people might be giving attention to it, do please do post it on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is kind of your online resume, right? It is a social network and people are going through it. So whenever HR would be any someone from one company, if they are searching for junior software engineers to hire in their company, so what will happen is that because you are active on LinkedIn, whenever they will be searching for those people, your profile will be coming up first, right? So make sure your LinkedIn profile is very much active. Don't keep it in a dormant stage. Don't just write I am a third year or fourth year graduate in NIT Durgapur and that's it. You have done nothing as per which is mentionable. So if you guys have prepared any kind of small project which you think is good, if you have let's say scored very well in some online coding contest, please create a please create a post in LinkedIn, and don't be snobbish about it. Just be very humble and create a post. And as your profile gets more like and you will get more followers out of that post, your profile will be getting highlighted whenever HR will be searching for some junior roles. Yeah.
Yes, Bhaiya. Then, Bhaiya, actually, there are few requests for a roadmap. Manikanta asks that how to get an intern if we have only 7 to 8 months left, or
Mhm.
even for placement, if you can just say in short, like brief.
Right, right. Okay. Okay. So I'll address the internship part. So okay, so can you tell me like how many companies have come for this internship season in NIT Durgapur? Like a roundabout figure.
Bhaiya, I guess I don't have a perfect idea about the same,
Mm.
but I think more than 15, I guess the
Right, right. Okay.
top one are around 5 to 6.
Okay, okay. So if you guys are preparing for your internship season, first of all, be at some level of proficiency at your DSA skills, all right? Because of your problem solving skills, and you guys need to understand that you have a very good community of coding clubs. Recursion is there. Talk to your seniors, talk to your friends, how they are preparing for it. So as I mentioned earlier, right, there are very few set of common questions which gets asked by interviewers a lot during the interviews. So there are sheets, there are n number of sheets. You can just find it in the internet, right? So practice those questions. Like there are hardly, I think, 40 questions up there. So why don't you just solve one by one? And I can guarantee that for the internship levels, that is more than enough. And probably you can find an interest in competitive programming as well. So that goes for the DSA one. Secondly, I would be suggesting you to focus on your CGPA. That's a very important thing. People, what they do is that they ignore the CGPA and their grades when they are preparing for internship. So that is something which you shouldn't be doing. Try to have a Please guys, try to have a CGPA higher than 9. I would say at least higher than 8. That is an utmost necessity, I feel, because in college, when companies come, they would be putting up that criteria that your CGPA should be greater than 8 or greater than 7, and there shouldn't be absolutely no backlogs or any courses where you have failed. So please do stress on the fact that you have to make your grades good as well. So try to keep your CGPA above 8. I think that's a very good that's a safe spot. If it is above 9, it's even better. So that goes for the CGPA part. So please focus on that as well. And along with that, guys, DSA, along with DSA, you have to practice some web dev technologies. Try for if you are into Java stack, go for Spring Boot, right? If you are into Python, go for Django stack. So there are a lot of tutorials in YouTube. So prepare some. This is very basic. You don't need to do so much for your internship. Prepare some very basic coding platform. Let's say online marketing site, a dummy of an online marketing site, or an online movie recommending site. So very basic, where you have, you have a DB, you have a front end, you are connecting it to it. So make some projects like that, and practice on your DSA. So as I mentioned, there are set of questions, so practice that, and along with that, maintain a good CGPA, and I think you should be very well ahead of the competition. Yeah.
Yeah, the CGPA criteria you mentioned has like many fans running after you, because I guess not many of them have carried about a good CGPA now, because after this, if you try even boosting your CGPA, it would be very hard, as you have already put 5 semester, means 4 semester behind you, which you cannot compensate in general. So
Right.
so instead of, means I think that keeping the CGPA criteria aside, I guess Bhaiya, whatever you said was the minimum required thing. CGPA would be a cherry on top, we
On
can say.
top of the cake, right?
Yes, Bhaiya. So uh, one asks, like, if CP, one should focus on CP or Dev or DSA, because what happened was with recent interviews and CA, there was SQL based questions, there was compulsory Python questions in Flipkart Grid. So how
Mhm.
one should tackle and move up with the new era, means this data analytics and all.
Right, right. So, guys, what I would say is that before, like maybe 2020s or 2023s, a lot of focus was on CP. That's very true. But as I said, right, because of this new AI, Gen AI age, essentially, the focus on CP and the focus on the problem solving skill has diminished a bit. So, guys, you should be you should be proficient with your CP skills. Along with that, you should be good at some web technology. Okay, so let's assume you are good at Java. So why don't you build some Spring Boot projects, right? If you are good at Python, why don't you go for Django stack and you make some projects with that? So it is true, guys. I know it's very difficult to to learn so many things at once, and you can't focus on a particular thing. But I think because recruiters are looking for Python, right? Because Python is such a well used language. So using learning some bit of it will definitely be helping you. So probably if you are using C++ as your coding language in CP, why don't you learn about Python as well? So that you shouldn't be, basically what I'm trying to say is that you shouldn't be fixated on a particular thing, like you are giving 100% of your time on that. You should be dividing your time very optimally, and you should be learning as much as you can. So Python is absolutely necessary in this new market, right? You guys all know about the new AI age, so Python is absolutely necessary. So I would just suggest you don't do. It shouldn't be like that. You are investing 100% of your time to a CP alone. Just diversify your time. Learn about SQL, learn about databases. Databases is in your course, I presume. So learn about that. Learn about operating system. Learn about computer networks, and also learn about Python. So diversify. Don't just be fixated on them. Yeah, that's what my answer.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for that insight of yours. So actually, there is, means the two questions are very similar in nature. So Bhaiya, how to tackle a completely unknown problem in interview? If it's okay to ask for hints or helps from the interviewer, if I can't come up with anything, if someone goes blank, then what should he or her means do? So he or she do. So, and another one is there, that no matter how hard I try, I am not able to solve the code forces contest. Third question, that is C. So
Okay.
how one should do the same? I guess the second part of the question would also help with the first part, as you would say
Right.
with the same. So
Right.
yeah, that
Yeah.
would be very nice.
So so in the interviews, right? you should be thinking that interviewer is a friend. You shouldn't be getting terrified of him or her, right? So any questions which you have in your in the problem which you have been given to solve, right, ask as many questions as possible, right? So if you're given a question where you're not sure about the what is the size of the input which would be given to you, and let's say the interviewer is asking is expecting an O of n square algorithm to be answered, and you hadn't asked the interviewer what is the size of input, and you are expecting that the input size would be around 10 to the power 6. So you are excluding the fact that it can be solved using n square, right? Because if you are presuming that the input length would be 10 per 5, 10 per 5 or 10 per 6, you are not thinking about the n square solution. So you have to ask your interviewer, what is the length of the input they are expecting, and what is the memory usage they are expecting. So you shouldn't be petrified by your interviewer. You shouldn't be intimidated by your interviewer. Ask as many questions you can, because um, this shows a very important skills for you, that is you are willing to ask more questions. So when you get into a job, the main thing is that you are asking more questions about the project you are in. You are not introvert as per se. So asking questions is never a negative thing. The interviewer would be very happy to answer your questions, and maintaining a two-way communication is very good at interview. So that was for the first part of the first part of the question which was asked, that you shouldn't be getting intimidated by interviewer. Just ask as many questions as you can, and if you have any doubt for a particular question, just clarify it before you present a solution, right? And for the second one, where I think he or she is asking about the third question which is not being solved. So it does take time, right? The first two questions of any contest is very easy, and the second question would be getting solved very easily. First two questions would be getting solved very easily, but yeah, the difficulty level increases as you go past the third question or the fourth question. So the only answer, guys, you have to remember this, is only practice, 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 and practice. There is no shortcut for it. You guys have to practice for cracking that third question, cracking that fourth question. You cannot be like that. Um, if I learn a few more data structures or few more algorithms, you would be able to solve. Yes, algorithms and data structure do help, but what is the main thing about solving the third question or the fourth question is that you have to practice, practice. Because competitive programming, is kind of a chess, and if you see the experienced players in chess, they have a lot of patterns in their mind. So they can remember very old games from their memory, and they can think that, okay, I have seen this problem somewhere before in my career. Do I remember what is the next move should I be playing so that I have a winning position? So uh, the more you practice the problems, you are kind of building a information base in your brain. And what you're essentially doing is that you are querying to yourself, okay, have I seen a similar kind of problem in the past, and can I use that thing? Probably I couldn't solve it in the past, but I have read the editorial, right? So I know what was required out of the problem. So can I use that in this problem? So guys, I can't stress it enough. You guys have to practice, and trust me, once you have practiced enough, you have practiced dedicatedly, you will be able to solve the third question or the fourth question. And who knows, maybe you can solve all of the questions in a contest and be a grandmaster or someone. So that thing is always open, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I already was like getting some hints that you would prioritize on the fact that practicing questions is the key to it.
Right.
So yes, that's why I clubbed the questions together. We have upcoming another question, like if they are again very similar. If you have to prepare course yes from scratch in 1 month, how
Mhm.
would you prioritize the topics? Also, I would like to add, Bhaiya, if you want to suggest any resources, that would be great. Also, Rahul Kumar asks that how shall a non-CS student prioritize DSA, CS fundamental, or dev? Even I being from a non-circuitry branch, so it would be very helpful, Bhaiya, if you
Right, right.
share your insights.
So essentially, for the interviews on this level, you would be asked very few questions on the non-CS topics. I think the main three non-CS topics would be operating system, databases, and computer networks. Right, these three are the like the main main domain of topics from where interviewers generally ask questions. So for these three topics, I would say if you are 1 month away from your interview or your OA, so what you guys can do is that probably you can go to Geeks for Geeks. Geeks for Geeks is a good site. They have some paid courses, because there's something difference between a paid course and an free course in YouTube. So I would suggest that you go there, as I think it costs around 1.5k or something. So you guys can enroll in that, and they have a course specifically for DBMS, computer networks, and OS. So you guys can check out that. That is a very good course. And along with that, if you guys are not willing to pay that much, maybe you can go over this the articles which are open source, and you can go into some YouTube tutorials. But if you guys are willing to pay some money, like maybe $1,000 or so, you can check out the Geeks for Geeks. My Some of my friends had actually bought it, and I had gone through the course as well. So it's a good course. They give you MCQs as well, so you can definitely check it out. It would be very helpful. And since you said that you were only 1 month away from your interview, so I think that's a good resource. Yeah, you can definitely check that out.
So, Bhaiya, if means there are so many domains to choose from, like backend, full stack, ML, data science. So, how should a student go about deciding which one to specialize in? And also, Bhaiya, I would like to add the fact that should one do everything means have a just overview of everything means amongst them and be specialized in one of them. Is it so?
So yeah, that's the thing, right? You have a lot of domains in there. There machine learning, there is data analysis, there web dev. So the thing is that um, I would say suggest you guys that you should be prioritizing probably one, and but because you guys are in such a nascent stage and you are just about to step into the industry, so I think you shouldn't be like giving as I said previously, you shouldn't be investing whole of your time in that. S- uh, uh, there are more opportunities in web development, very large number of opportunities in web development compared to machine learning and data analysis. So it's much more easier to get a job in this web development domain, where you are either a front end engineer or a back end engineer, like because companies create more roles for that compared to a machine learning engineer or someone. So it's very easier for a new college grad to get into web development role. So I would first of all suggest you guys that please be proficient on this web development skills, be it on the front end or back end. Learn React, learn Django, learn Spring Boot, learn Shisha, whatever suits you the best. So learn about that. And along with that, since you have a knack for machine learning and data analysis, so what you can guys do is that prepare some projects side by side. And if you find any role which is taking up machine learning or data analysis guys for that role, so you can just apply on it. But guys, be because the most 80% or 90% of the companies which will be coming in college or are there, which have posted their job openings in LinkedIn. So most of them are, I think, web dev roles, and it's much more easier to get into a web dev role compared to a data analysis role. So please have some knowledge of the web dev technologies, front end, back end, and along with that, prepare your ML skills and data analysis skills. So even if you create a ML model or something, right? You need a front end and a back end, right? So learning about those web technologies will definitely will be helping you. Yeah.
Actually, thank you for the insights. But yeah, so there is a very answering this question that always haunts a student or person who is preparing for interviews. Like first phases not going well for you means demotivation or rejections. Basically, you are just trying and trying and you don't get to any point. Then what do you think? Like, how do you push through it? How do you get back to yourself again?
Right. Yeah, it's very true that when you are trying to when you're in your final year and you are trying to go for a company or so, you will be facing rejections. That is quite inevitable. So, guys, what I would be suggesting is that first of all, don't get demotivated. As I said previously, right? Throughout the year, if you are assuming you this is a question for given by a final year student, so. Your placement seasons have just begun, and there is a whole year in front of you. So there would be a lot of companies which would be coming into our college. I think there would be a lot of companies. At least that was for my case, and I think it would be the similar scene for this year as well. So don't get demotivated. You have alumni or good seniors, good pass out seniors. So reach out to them if you are finding it very difficult. Uh, and trust me, guys, if you are texting them over LinkedIn or something and saying that I'm a fourth year student from your college, they would be very ready to help you. So don't get demotivated. Um, don't get dejected. Focus on your problem solving skills, sharpen it up. Try to ask yourself, what did I miss out in my previous company interview that they gave me the rejection mail. So what was I lacking? Let's say your friend got accepted in that company but you didn't get. So ask yourself, like, what extra did my friend prepare that I was missing in myself? Can I fix that? Can I work on that skills? And eventually, guys, you will be landing on a good company, trust me, because you have a whole year in front of you. So be very responsible and be I know it's the last final year of your college and you guys are uh, already very sad about missing your friends out. Same happened with me as well. But do remember that that you have to secure a good job for yourself. So please focus on your studies along with your fun activities which you have with your friends. And don't be demotivated, guys. I know it's a bit hard, but yeah, eventually you will be landing on a good job. Yeah, that's for sure.
Thank you, Bhaiya. But till now, I guess as interns haven't approached now, I don't feel. But I think that this is a very big problem. So thanks for understanding and reciprocating the same. Where can you share, means as you have worked so much into the industry and you also know what's strong CS code fundamental knowledge. So can you share any incident where you actually utilized, this is a question from Anish again. So he asks like where strong knowledge of OS, DBMS or computer network, anything among this that you had studied in your preparation time that helped you get past that problem or you means, did a real production incident with that.
I would say in like uh, for I think I can remember one scene where the data structures were very much important in that. Like I remember in one of the APIs, there was a legacy code base in one of my previous companies, and what they were doing is that they were searching throughout iteratively in that response. So I had used a hash map in that case for getting a particular key value in O of one space. So so that is some kind of optimization I had done. So I remember, like, the API response was better for that. So these are the scenarios where you can, if you go through the code base of a project, and if you find some implementation where they are using a wrong data structure, or let's say the API response structure has changed, and probably you can find out a way essentially where you can s- sort out the response better compared to what is being used currently. So I think that was a good learning point for me as well. And I think once you guys step into this industry, you can do the same. So yeah, knowledge of data structures and algorithms do help a lot. Yeah.
Uh, I guess, Priya, you would have also many incidents, but this one was actually very interesting as we all can relate with the first ever data structure we read, that is a hash map. It's usually the first in general at
Mhm.
storing and mapping. So thank you, Priya, for the same. So we have another question. How important do recruiters generally give to DSA or development skill in this AI slump era? Should we, how should we get ahead in this time? So it's
Right. Uh,
again,
Yeah, it is kind of the question which I discussed previously, I feel also. So guys, you have to understand that AI is very well integrated into the software industry very much. So you can't neglect AI. So that is for sure. And AI is kind of a buzzword for now as well. So what I would suggest is that get yourself certified. When you are posting some certifications in LinkedIn, you get a kind of a badge of approval from a company. Let's say you did a course from Coursera or Udemy, or be it LinkedIn Learning, anywhere, right? So whenever you're getting a certification, you're getting a badge of approval from that site that this guy is good at what he claims at. So I would suggest you guys that go for some certifications. Put it up, as I mentioned, right? Put it up in a post through LinkedIn or something. Trust me, guys, that helps you very, very much. And there are a lot many courses in prompt engineering by OpenAI. You can check that out. That is absolutely free. That is, I think, 3 hours or 4 hour course. So probably you can just brush it up, like you can go over it in a week or so, and you can get yourself certified. Can you imagine that you are getting a certification from OpenAI? So that is something which will definitely boost your resume, and that is absolutely free of cost. So look into search in the internet what all courses you can go for. Let's say if you are asked to pay 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000, don't hesitate, just go for it, because at the end of the day you are getting a certification, and that is very much important. And guys, just try to make your LinkedIn profile as active as possible, because as I mentioned, right, so whenever a representative from a company, a tech company, would be searching in LinkedIn, so you need to make sure that your profile comes up first, right, in the list of responses which he or she gets. Your profile should be also be highlighted, and the only way to do is that you should be active in LinkedIn. So look out for posts in LinkedIn where they are searching for new internships, intern. And you can text your seniors as well, you can text me as well. And yeah, and guys, recursion is such a big asset for our college, that so many people are there in that, so many pass out seniors are there, so you can text them, text us. So it is always helpful. You're not alone in this fight, so you have to remember that.
thank you, Priya, for uh, calling us out. Yeah. Also, there is a follow up that are certifications really that important? Means if one is not able to. Bhaiya, was there
Yeah,
network?
I think I lost my connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I will again repeat the same.
Okay.
So, first of all, thank you for the calling recursion out for the same. So,
Mhm.
yeah, Bhaiya, after that, so are certifications really that necessary? Preeti asked this question, like,
Yeah,
follow up
Preeti,
to the previous.
trust me, it's more important than you think. It is very much. So yeah, absolutely. That you have good amount of skills in web dev, or let's say anything in ML or data analysis. But how do you convince the other person who is looking into your profile? How do you convince them? Yeah, I'm good about it. So some kind of certification is good. If you let's say if you have participated in Recode also, right? Recode or any coding contest in our college. if you get a certificate, just put it up in your LinkedIn. Trust me, this will help you a lot. So try to get into some courses. There are a lot many courses, and honestly, guys, the BTech curriculum which we have is not at all aligned with the new job roles that we are seeing. So companies nowadays are not really focused on your BTech degree. This is used to be something which used to be happen in the past, like probably in before 2019 or 2018, where they used to value your BTech degree coming from a CS background. But now it's solely upon your coding skills and your speaking skills and your analytical skills. So if you get some certifications, guys, please do upload it in your LinkedIn. So that would be very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, for the same, I would like to ask on my part that Azure certificates or Amazon AWS Web Services,
Right.
those,
Right. Cloud certifications.
yes, but I guess those are very important in today's era because on every platform they specifically ask you if you have some Azure or AWS
Right. Right.
certifications.
Right. Right. So correct, Utkarsh. You cannot be more correct than that. So cloud is something which is being used very widely, right? And we deploy our solutions in the cloud, and we scale our cloud applications. So learning about the cloud technologies, Kubernetes, and everything. So that will give you a very good good opportunity, and you would also lighten up your profile and would be giving a good advantage compared to others. But cloud is something which you start using it once you are into 1 or 2 years in your job. But if you have something, if you have qualified or passed the exam in cloud certification, there is the exam which I took in my first year in my job, was the AC 900, is the basic cloud certification course. So probably you guys can take that up also. And guys, whatever you learn, right, if you have mentioned something in your resume that yeah, I know this technology, don't lie about it or don't exaggerate in your resume, because the thing is that whenever an interviewer sees your profile or sees your resume essentially, so he would be questioning you about that. And if you can't answer that, then you are in tight ropes. And if that's very embarrassing as well. So guys, please remember that do not mention anything in your resume which you are not sure of. Always put something which you are very confident about it. If you have done certification, if you've done courses, please put it up, but make sure that you are knowing the facts behind it. Yeah.
Bhaiya, we will be taking our last question of the day. So it's how to impress interview rounds, means the interviewer. So as it's not that technical in nature, so
Mm.
how much, means I'm adding to the question by myself, that how much does the soft skill part is necessary? And as you had already discussed that if the question does not, means you cannot get the answer right. So how much of your non-technical background and how to use that to do the same, like have a good impression in the rounds, interview
Right,
rounds.
right. Yeah. Okay. So, guys, I think primarily in all the interviews you are going to speak in English. So, try to practice talking in English as much as possible, because I think the most of the recruiters would be speaking in English. So, if you are stuttering in behind in between what you are saying, so that looks very unconfident, and it doesn't look very good on you. And so it shows that you are not well prepared, even though if you have a good thing to say, or if you have something to say about it, even if your answer is correct, if you are not presenting it well, then that might be a problem for you as well. So try to conduct some mock interviews with your seniors, or with your friends, where your friend is asking something about it, and you can just practice some basic questions, like something which is being asked in every interview, I guess. You can I think one of the questions would be like tell me something about yourself. Tell me about your hobbies. So these are the some kind of questions which you can prepare from before, so that you are not totally blank when you are trying to when you are sitting in front of the interviewer. So you have something to say about yourself. So that would be it. Try speaking in front of the mirror, I would say, like, so that you are fluent in English. So hold some organize some mock interviews or something with your friends. I think that would be a good way. And along with that, I would say the most important thing is that you need to be in a conversation with your interviewer as much as possible. So you shouldn't be like the interviewer is giving a question, I was just thinking, you are not speaking out, and there's no communication between. So what it shows is that you are not very vocal about yourself. You're not willing to question the interviewer. So always try to keep your interviewer in the conversation loop. So that would be very helpful. And another thing I would like to add is that in almost every interview, I think if you guys have taken part in the recursion code interview rounds for the club, I think most of the people at the end of the interview, what they ask is, do you have any question for ourselves, right? For the interviewer, do you have any question? And I think many people take it very lightly and they just say that, no, I don't have anything to ask. Please don't do that. And it is something very similar in tech interviews as well. So the interviewer would be definitely asking, if you have any question for me or for the organization. So prepare some question from beforehand. If you are, let's say, giving an interview for Google, let's say, you can ask them, okay, can you tell me what is the new product you are trying to launch next, or how has your experience working has been in working in this company? What did you learn? So I have some kind of questions prepared from beforehand, so that you can ask it to the interviewer, and this always shows a good quality about yourself, that you are always vocal and you are ready to ask questions. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for sharing with us the same. So that was the last question for the night, and thank you for joining with us, sharing your time. And as it was a Sunday, so you taking out your time from your special after your weekdays, so it was very helpful for us too. And as you had mirrored us into your industrial experience and all of your insights, that was again very helpful, and we are happy for the same. So we will end today's stream. You means you don't leave the meet. We'll end the stream from the host directly, Bhaiya. So that's it. Thank you again, and thank you all for joining the same and asking the questions. If you have anything for the viewers and audiences for the last, so you can share with them.
Yeah, it has been very fun actually. I'm always open to meet you guys, and as you know, I'm from Durgapur itself, so I always take out some time to visit the campus. So I'd be very glad if I can meet some people who have attended this live, and I'd be very happy to do that. And I was, and it wasn't actually a big problem for me for taking out 1 or 2 hours to speak to my juniors. I'm very eager to help you guys. So it has been really fun, and I think I should be thanking you, Utkarsh, and the Recursion team as well for organizing this. So I'm very glad. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Uh, Thank you for the same. So we'll end the meet now. It's not the meet, so the live stream. Thank
Mhm.
you everyone for joining.
Thank you. Bye.